I'm Nathan Twomey. I'm a sourcing commodity manager here in NetApp. So I'd usually arrive into the office for around half eight, 8:15ish. It's hit and miss. Some days I like to sleep in. So I usually just walk through the reception area on our fourth floor, and I'd come in and I'd just see a lot of people from the office just having breakfast. It's kind of a good thing for me because, I feed off other people's energy. So, just hearing conversation, it starts my day off with a good vibe. And I'd usually meet some of the interns. I'd have like a yogurt or something with them, and then come quarter to nine, 10 to 9, we go downstairs and start prepping for our day. So what I would do is I would usually write a to-do list, so I can just tick that off as the day goes on. And by the end of the day, if I feel like I've done nothing, I can just look back at it and see that there's ticks next to what I've mentioned. So I'm like, yeah, that's good. It feels like a productive day. So usually comes 9 o'clock, I'm prepping for the day. I'm looking at what calls I've scheduled for the day. So I'm kind of writing notes on my first call, just what can I prepare. Then I would usually go through the work that I've done from the previous week or two, and I would just ensure that's organized and it looks okay to produce. Because sometimes, you're trying to rush through things. You're like, oh no, did I forget about anything? So you're just literally double checking your stuff. Thing I like about it is it's hit and miss. Like, is again, every day you don't have a call every couple of hours. Sometimes you've calls once an hour, which can take a toll on the energy, and you're a bit slowed down to work some days because you're just tired from that. But then for the days that I don't have many calls, I like to catch up on the work from the previous day. So it's kind of, sometimes there's a lot of calls, sometimes they're not. And then usually I'd go with some people from the office to the Marina Market here in Cork. So it's just a 5-10 minute walk from the office. So we'd usually go there for 30 minutes, have lunch, and by the time I come back again, I'm already preparing for my next couple of hours and organising and double checking all the work I've done. And then come the end of the day, saying my goodbye to everyone, 5:30, and usually I get home for about 6ish, and only God knows what I'll be up to, probably reading a book or playing my Xbox when I get home. So one thing I told the batch of interns when they came in, the very first thing I told them was to be curious and ask a lot of questions. I also told them, so here at NetApp we have EBRGs, Employee Business Resource Groups. So basically they're just kind of like little societies that you would have in college, but kind of more tailored to a business setting. For example, we have a thing called NetX, which is our events, and I'm involved in that. So it's something I've told the interns about from the get-go. I said, as soon as you settle in, get involved in all these things, you get your name around, you get a lot of network connections from it. So basically from the beginning, I know it's very daunting. Again, it's very scary. You're coming into a new setting, but again, like, it's just being curious, asking questions, because you can touch on anyone. Like for me, I think it was my third day, I ended up talking to our site lead, not knowing who he was. And that just gave me a great impression from the start, because, as soon as you get to someone like that, they're like, oh yeah, this is Nathan. And then all of a sudden you're introduced to the whole office. And all of a sudden it's not that big scary setting anymore. It's like it's a family setting is what I call it. Again, yeah, just be curious, ask a lot of questions. And something that a lot of companies do nowadays is you usually start off in a typical role. For example, I'm in procurement, and if I wanted to touch into marketing after a couple of weeks, then I had the opportunity to do that. So I would recommend that to people, try to get a taste of what kind of different departments do. And again, you're just increasing your networking, you're upskilling everywhere, you're organized, your networking connections, and you become a lot more confident as time goes on. So to me, they're the big pieces of advice I would give to someone. Again, just be yourself as well and be curious. I guess they're the two big things. What I love about the job is the fact that it's not the same thing every day. Like, for example, coming into the internship, applying for intern roles, I was just hoping that it's not going to be sitting at the desk 9 to 5, looking at your laptop and just going through Excel sheets. That was the biggest fear I had. And little did I know that it was the complete opposite. For example, I started working off on a category card project, just tailored to our softwares and so on. And then after a couple of months, I was offered a corporate card program. So what I'm saying is it's a very diverse kind of project line is what you have. So like don't have the fear of sitting there and you're doing the same thing every day. Every day is quite literally different. I know people always say that, but for me, it is quite literally every day is different. The thing I also love about this job is the opportunities to travel. So in June, after I started my internship in January, sorry, and then the following June, I had the opportunity to travel to the Munich office. And just as I was doing part-time work, my team had travelled to Bangalore, which I unfortunately missed out on because of exams. And then they also came to Cork, so there's a lot of room to travel for this kind of role. So I love that. And I'm also on a career development plan because I am a graduate, so I'm just still learning, not the basics, but I'm getting to more of the SME subject matter expert kind of lines. So again, there's just a lot of stepping stones to get to that. So I do enjoy that they actually care about my development and have put me on a development plan instead of just throwing me into the deep end, telling me you have to lead these projects. They're slowly integrating that into me. So yeah, I guess they're the three things that I love. And I guess the biggest thing for me coming into this company, the culture was just second to none. I was so scared to like have any personal conversations with anybody here. I quickly realized that they're just other people too, they're humans. So just even getting over that kind of barrier and creating those personal relationships was very easy for me.